Okay, so let's see if we can come up with an example. First of all, let's see if this even has an HTTP server up and running. To test that, we're going to create a little web app directory under main, and we'll have a simple HTML document in there. And in here we'll just say, oops, we'll just say h1 hello. So let's run that. I'm just testing whether there is an HTTP server even running here. Oh, did we have some outstanding SQL issues last week? Probably, right? All right, so let's see. We have a localhost 8080 and hello.html. All right, so we have a server, right? I was just checking to see that we had a server, right? And we can see that what went out to the server, we can see the network, we can see the headers, that's the URL that was sent over, that it was a GET that went out to the server, and this is the headers that were sent over, that we're expecting HTML, the cookies and when it was sent, and this is the response. The response. This is the ASCII that came back from the server. Make sense? Everybody good? All right. So what we want to be able to do is to do this programmatically, right? Dynamically. So if we have here in our model, we have a user here, and that user has a username, password, whatnot. Let's create a service that can return a user instance or a course instance. Let's see, what do we have for courses? Of course, we have an ID and a title. Let's create a course service just to demonstrate this. So we'll say new class, and we will going to put it all on a package called services, and we'll call it course service. And this course service, we're going to use the API we just mentioned, we just introduced. We want to make this, what we want to be able to do is say, well, it says public course, get me a course. And we want to perhaps instantiate a course, new course. Course set, what do we have here? Set ID 123 and course dot set title CS 5200, and then we just return course. So this is data wherever it lives, right? In this particular case, it will only live in the server, and that we want to make available, right, to the rest of the world. So we could do that by telling it that this is going to be a REST controller, meaning it's going to define URL endpoints that are going to be mapped to executables, to functions that are going to execute. And the data that's going to go back is whatever these functions return. Make sense? Right? So a REST controller. And we're going to map this to a GET mapping, and we'll say that this is course, or my course. All right. I'll restart this. And as I restart it, we can try and retrieve that. So this is mapped to my course. There it is. Yeah, there's our data that came from the server. If we look at what went out, the headers, it says we wanted a GET. We were expecting, in this case, request headers, application JSON. Right? So it's converted back to us as JSON. The browser understands that this is encoded in JSON, so it formats it accordingly. I have a plugin here that when it sees in the MIME type as application JSON, it formats it so that it allows me to edit it. But really, what's coming back is just plain old string. That's all really is coming back from the server. Make sense? Right? Now, what if we wanted to generate a course? Let's try and generate a course. For instance, we might have here a list of courses. My courses as a new array list of courses. Right? And I want to be able to create courses. So what we would do is we would use a post mapping instead. Right? And a new course. Right? And we would send that we're going to add a new course, whatever course you send us, right? And we're going to add it to this array list, and then we'll return to you the current list of courses. So let's do that. List course, all the courses. Create course. And we'd like to be able to pass you a brand new course, and we'd like you to add it to the list of courses, to my course. My courses, I want to add my course. And once it's added, I want to return my courses as a list of courses. Everybody okay? All right. Where are we going to get this instance of a course? Well, I'm going to put it in the body, in the HTTP body. Yes? You are going to parse it from there. And the way we do that is we annotate it as request body. Meaning I'll send it to you in the body. You're going to parse it from there. You're going to instantiate a new course object, and you will populate, right, the mapping the fields in the JSON. You'll map it to the fields in the object, right, the Java object. Well, let's do that. Let's see. Let's restart the server. Okay. Now, if we go here, there's no way for me at the browser here to generate a post. I can't generate a post. Yes? So we need to instead use some other mechanism. So Postman is an open source tool that allows you to generate posts, gets, puts, delete everything. You can generate anything you want. So let's play around with that. Let me create a new one here. New. This will be CS 5200, fall 2018, section 1. And so we'll create a brand new. So we'll create a brand new query, and we're going to go to localhost 8080. And the URL is, according to this, it ends with new course. So let's do that. There it is, new course. Yes? We need to send over and tell the server that what I am passing to you, I am passing you the MIME type of what I am passing to you. It's encoded in JSON. It's not a PDF document. It's not a HTML document. It's not a Word document. It's not an image. Right? It's a string. Now that string is not XML. It's not a CSV file. It's not a plain text. It has a particular format. Right? And the way we do that is by passing in the headers, we'll pass and tell it that it's an application JSON. Right? So this is a standard MIME type that servers understand. Okay? And in the body, in the headers, okay, not a get. I want to send a post. Don't notice that in a get doesn't allow me to, I can't send a body. A get doesn't have a body. It only has the URL. That's all it has. But a post allows me to also encode a body. And the body can be a form data. That's what a browser generates when you submit a form. It uses that encoding, form data. We're not going to do that. It can be encoded in a URL, or it can be encoded in a raw piece of text that's going to be passed in as part of the body. Right? All right, so we're going to send. Let's see, we need to make sure that what we pass here follows the same schema as course, because it's going to look at these fields. It's going to use the same identical fields and the same data types. We need to make sure we follow the same schema. So, So ID, it's an integer. And then we have title, which is a string. And we'll say CS5610. There it is. That's my JSON that's going to be sent over in the body. All right, so let's try it out. Let's make this smaller like that. Let's send it over. Okay, it came back. It came back with the ID that I sent it, 321, the title, CS5610, and author. Notice that I did not provide an author. Right? I missed that, right? Notice that my course, Java, has an additional field, author, which I did not provide. I did not provide, so it's null. Right? And notice that what came back is an array. See the square brackets? It's a square bracket, so meaning I can send it's being added in the memory of the server. The server has this object, right, instantiated in memory, and as long as the server is running, that object will stay in memory. If the server goes down, it'll be lost. So what we would like to be able to do is not use the server to store data. We would want to store it where? In the database. Right, we want to store this in the database, right, not memory. If I keep sending something else, right, 456 and CS 1800, I send another one. Notice that it keeps sending data that I sent. The array keeps adding to it. Right? Ideally, where we would be storing this is in the database, not in memory. So we'll do that. We'll do it in a minute. Everybody still okay with me? Everybody good? All right. So we looked at get and post. There's also delete. There's also put. Let's take a look at those. Oh, you could also look at the, you can save this. Let's save this. And we'll save it here, and we'll call it, new course. There we go. You can also see the raw, this is the raw text that is sent over to the server. Right, this is what the server actually receives. It parses it, it makes sense out of this and says, okay, well, all right, it's application. So presumably, after that, at the end, you'll have some more text that I'm going to parse. I'm going to interpret it as the body of the query.